Hey guys, this is SickSanders phone interviews, and I'm here with Kevin Baldus, the bassist of Lit, and I'm very excited.
I'm excited too.
What inspires you to make music?
Well, the joy of playing music and kind of everyday life, and just getting together with some friends. It's music's what brought everybody in Lit together in the first place. So that was our first common denominator, you know. So it's just everyday life kind of is the main thing.
Awesome. So many bands do meet and greets, but on your tour recently you did a listening party for your new CD, The View from the Bottom, dropping June 19th. Why does Lit seem to always go above and beyond for their fans and do things like this, and also with the unique CD release bundles offered on the Lit website, litband.com?
Well, you know, we're pretty grounded guys. We're everyday normal people, and we've always gone after shows. I mean, you know, we go backstage after a show to dry off, change our shirts, typically talk about the show, but that'll last 10, 15 minutes, and then typically we're ready to have a drink and mingle with the people and talk with people. I mean, we're people, so, you know, I don't know. I guess, you know, we don't go out every single time, but most of the time we do, you know. I just, if we're up for it, you know, we're just like anybody else, you know. Sometimes you get home from work, anybody, you know, and they don't want to go out. They want to sit home and watch TV. Or sometimes they want to go out. So it's kind of the same thing, you know. So I get out and mingle with the people and have some laughs, and it's always cool meeting new and interesting people, you know.
My dad caught up with you guys recently in Louisville, and he said the listening party was the best money he had ever spent, and he got a poster signed by you guys for me, and I thank you for that very much. And
oh, you're welcome, man. Yeah, the bus listening thing was just a unique thing we wanted to offer for more, you know, because typically after a show there's, you know, anywhere from 20 to 100 people wanting to hang out, which we do. So if anybody wanted to hear the album early and maybe perhaps have some shots with us, we would do that and listen to the album and have some one-on-one time, and there was some usually other extra little goodies that came along with it. So it was just a cool little thing we were offering. A lot of bands are doing it nowadays, so we kind of came up with our own little concoction of a meet and greet of sorts that we offered.
yeah, that's really cool. He also said during the show that the power went out briefly and you guys came out and you did some shots with the crowd. Do you consider yourself the fun time ambassador of the band?
I think every night it changes. It depends. You know, I'll be honest with you. Some nights you go a little bit crazy, and then the next night you might not want to go so crazy. You gotta, you know, take a back seat and then let somebody else drive. Yeah, so I would say, you know, each night it kind of changes. It could be Jeremy, it could be AJ, it could be me. You know, it changes often. But it's funny that you say that because that is kind of true. There's always somebody in the band. And then that particular night, you know, the electricity went out. You know, the crowd's just kind of standing there, so you still got to entertain them or whatever. So I said, screw it. I'm gonna grab a bottle of Jaeger, and I just hopped in the audience. We just happened to have these lit Jaeger glasses, and I poured shots for people that were clearly over 21,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, can't take any chances. And then we ended up playing a song acoustically without the PA, so we had the audience get real quiet. We were able to play a song that wasn't in the set in the first place. Played it quietly. Then the power came back on, and the show continued. Cool.
Yeah, that sounded really cool. What's the funniest thing that has ever happened to you?
Oh, man. Well, there's been quite a few funny things. I mean, everything from waking up the next morning after a show and having Sharpie written all over my body, you know, that can happen. I've fallen off the stage like 3 times. It's both funny and embarrassing, but I typically don't get too embarrassed, man. It's life, you know. Man, there's been so many things, and I can't even think of too many of them, but dude, almost nightly when you're on the road, there's something funny happening. I mean, that's why we do it, to be honest with you. touring and being away from our families and everything, we wouldn't do it. But it's a lot of fun, and it can be rewarding, especially when you've got people that listen to your music, telling you what the music does for them. And it's always great to hear. But to answer your question, yeah, I mean, every night there's something funny going on.
Your new album that drops June 19th, The View from the Bottom, is your first album with your new guitarist, Ryan Gilmore, and your new drummer, Nathan Walker. Would you say that this album differs from your past albums?
No, I think I guess it might be a little bit deeper just because of some of the things we went through over the last couple of years with the loss of our drummer, Alan, and then our singer, AJ and Jeremy. They lost their stepdad, and their mom was seriously injured in a motorcycle accident. So those kind of came into play, and what we went through as adults, and then some of that makes an appearance on the album. But it's still good time rock and roll from Lid. And still, we're not trying to reinvent anything. We're not trying to reinvent ourselves or anything. We're probably better songwriters. I mean, if there's anything we're trying to do differently, it's maybe try and better our songwriting and our playing, and just trying to be just better all around as a band. And I think we achieved that big time with this album. This album means a lot to us, and it's very dear to our hearts. So we're really proud of it. Can't wait for it to come out and start hearing what people think of it. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, definitely. You recently just got off your 2012 headline tour. And was it odd getting back on the road after being off the road so long?
Was it weird being on the road?
Yeah.
Well, it's like riding a bicycle. You get back on. Once you torque the sprocket a couple times, I mean, it all kind of comes back to you. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. It's like that movie Groundhog Day. I mean, every day it all kind of starts seeming you're kind of doing the same thing every day, which you kind of are. You get up and you're looking for some kind of breakfast and some kind of coffee, and you try and check out the town, get a feel for the town and whatnot, and then you got sound check, and then typically you got to meet and greet, and you got to call home and make sure the family and everybody's cool at home, and then you half an hour before you hit the stage, you start kind of getting ready and getting your clothes on and warming your voices up and warming your fingers up, whatnot, and then you hit the stage, and after the show, it's typically party time, and typically the bus call is until 2 in the morning, and then it all starts over again,
Yeah.
Okay, so, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, it felt great being out there playing every single night. I mean, over the last 8 years, we would do one show here, 2 shows there, sometimes even up to 3 shows during a week, and we do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, little runs. But it felt good to finally get out there after all these years and do a little run down in the southeast there, and it was great. I look forward to our tour coming up this summer.
Awesome. What would you say to a fan who says you saved his or her life?
I would say, wow, I mean, and people have said that. I mean, we've had everything from songs being played at weddings, their first dance. We've had people say that lyrics to a song have given them encouragement to go on, and it blows you away. I mean, that kind of stuff, you don't really go into writing a song with that in mind, so that's all kind of icing on the cake, really, and it's beautiful icing. If our music really touches somebody like that, that's awesome. That's incredible, and that being said, there's music that really helps us make it through too. I mean, everybody in this band, we listen to music for a reason, for many reasons, So what people get from our music, we get from other people's music, and sometimes our own music. I mean, we write these songs as kind of an outlet of both good things and bad things. Sometimes you got to put words into song to kind of get something off your chest, whether it's good or bad, and so. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling if somebody can get something from it.
Do you have any plans for upcoming music videos for The View from the Bottom? I'm sorry.
There's been talk of doing a video for You Tonight, and I think we're still kicking it around. There's a handful of things being kicked around.